All right. Mm. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated. Today, I couldn't wait to start the show. Sometimes I start the show 2 minutes late, 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, because it depends on usually when I get home. Normally, I'm running around working all day, and I'm just running myself ragged like a chicken with its head cut off. And I come running into the house right as the show is supposed to start. So tonight, I'm here early. I got home early. I'm prepared. I am set up, and I'm excited. Because tonight, on Highly Motivated, we are making tea. Probably my most favorite thing in the world is making tea. Coming up with a beautiful tea blend that is mentally stimulating, great for my health, great for my body, great for my digestion. Tea isn't just for relaxing. Tea is great first thing in the morning instead of coffee, because coffee is a poison. Coffee is poisoning your body and making your body react, and that's why you have to pee. You drink coffee, you feel like you have to pee. You drink a tea, well, you still might feel like you have to pee. Whatever. But tonight we're making tea. And we're not making just any tea. We're making cannabis tea. Cannabis infused tea. So we use cannabis, but we also use some incredible fresh herbs or dried herbs, things like hibiscus or elderberry, rosehip, ashwagandha, a good black tea, honey, ginger, turmeric, all of these beautiful things. Tonight we're going to be putting into our tea, and we're going to be putting in some gorgeous flower. Now, normally I start the evening by smoking a doink-a-doink, and tonight we have a 2-gram mixed doink-a-doink from Gold Flower. Tonight's 2-gram doink-a-doink is gas chata and JGT combined together, a gram of each. One sitting this way, one sitting that way. But we're going to enjoy that a little bit later. Let's put that to the side. Meantime, to start the show, and we do have some things to talk about later on. Later on tonight, we're going to talk about preparing for apocalyptic situations, but not being a prepper. Don't be somebody who's always constantly prepping, but be prepared. Be ready. And tonight I came dressed for the occasion. We're making tea. So I wanted to be a little fancier. Actually, no, it's cold. It's really cold. It's so cold that I just can't get warm enough. So I'm wearing my fancy velvety, suede type smoking jacket. And what better than to have a smoking jacket on a night that we're making tea. So welcome everybody to Highly Motivated, highly excited, highly enthused. Tonight, we're having high tea. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. Not just that, though. Before I get too far, I want to wish happy birthday. Happy birthday to Michael Chapman. Michael Chapman, he leads up a group called Stoners for Swag. So Stoners for Swag, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Michael Chapman. Enjoy your birthday. Make it everything that you want it to be. I did see an invite online for the birthday today. I apologize I wasn't able to make it to that side of town. But I still wish you a happy birthday, and I want you to live it up. Live it up. So in honor of you, tonight we're going to make some tea. So for Michael Chapman, happy birthday. We're going to make some tea tonight. What are we going to... Oh, one of the things I want to show you that I was so excited about, one of the companies that we're trying to partner with, we're trying to get a hold of their brand. So what they do infused sugar cubes. They do something called twisties. They look like a joint, but you put it in your tea and it dissolves completely in your tea, but it infuses your tea with cannabis if you're not adding flour. But tonight we're adding flour and we're adding a little bit of sugar. So, we should probably get started, because I know, so when I do the tea, It's hot. It's super hot right now. But what I do, I just took it off the heat. It was just whistling. The second it starts to whistle, take it off, let it sit for 4 to 6 minutes. Why? Because you want the temperature to drop below 250 degrees. You don't want to make tea above 250 degrees. You want the temperature to drop below 250. And when steeping the tea, we're going to be using this right here. We're going to put all of our tea inside. But when steeping your tea, you don't want it to be too hot. You want it to be around 200 to 210 degrees. So again, tonight, welcome to Highly Motivated. I'm wearing my tea making jacket. We're making a little bit of cannabis infused tea. It's gonna be very exciting. I love making tea. Remember, cannabis isn't just about smoking it. It's about ingesting, assimilating it, making it part of your life with regimens and microdosing, and you're eating it, you're rubbing it on your body, you're making tea. So tonight we make tea. So let's talk about the ingredients. Let's talk about how important some of these ingredients are, especially when it comes to, you know, what it does for the body, what it does for, you know, making us healthier, where tea helps. Because a lot of times we're going to sit there and say, well, you know, you release tannins that make it bitter. Some botanicals scorch. That is true. That is true. But what I have going on over here, let me tell you, and that's why you make it bitter. You want to do it at a lower temperature. Let me put the chat on. I apologize. See, that way I'm reading things and you don't know what I'm reading. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. But it's true. Some botanicals can scorch. So I take my tea kettle. When it yells and screams, I take it off and I'm going to let it sit for like 6 minutes. So right now it's almost ready to pour. Tonight we're going to be trying some infused sugar, something called twisties, which look like little joints, but they're there to infuse your tea with cannabis infusion, as well as sweetening things. Because when I use things like hibiscus and elderberry or ashwagandha, they don't taste great on their own, but they taste great with a little bit of honey and a little bit of extra sweetening with infused sugar. Now, first, before we get started, let me take out this little thing. I'm gonna put it on top. I broke into it earlier. I already rolled a joint. Absolutely, I can smell it now. Absolutely delicious. But tonight we're using something called Orange Bowl. Orange Bowl, beautiful terpenes, just like a stinky orange, like a stinky, gassy, woo, kind of orange. I love it. So we're gonna use this as our cannabis tonight. So here's what we're gonna do just to get things started right off the bat. Let's open this up. Let's show you how much cannabis we're going to use. And that's the first thing we're going to put into our little net pot right here. So don't want to break that. So our little net pot will be responsible for holding all of our goodies. All of our goodies. Okay, right there. Let me just show you that. That is Orange Bowl. Isn't that delicious? Oh, it smells fantastic. The terps are just, they're Ooh, did I drop a little bit? I think I dropped a nug. No! Where did it go? I cannot believe I've dropped a nug. Did I? No, I did. I dropped a huge nug. I should be totally ashamed of myself. I'm just gonna grab that. Oh, I can't. It's too far out of reach. There we go. Okay, I'm ashamed of myself. We're gonna break up some of this. This nug, it smells great, but I'm gonna put it on the paper. I'm just gonna put it over here, out of the way. Okay. So I'm gonna break up about enough for a joint. So this amount right here is how much I'm gonna break up for our cannabis tea. That's really all that's required, all that's needed. You don't have to break up any more than that. And we're going to use the Orange Bowl, which Orange Bowl is one of the Heisman 34. It's a gold flower brand. Heisman 34 is Ricky Williams, the Heisman. Great guy, awesome guy. And this one's sitting at like 1.9 on terps, and the THC is like 24%. All right, juicy, delicious. I smoked a joint of it, and it was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So we're going to break it up by hand really quickly. I'm breaking up enough of the joint it's like a joint. Actually, no, a joint and a half to 2 joints is what I'm breaking up. And I'll show you before I put it in the net pot. I like to make a lot of tea. I make a lot of tea because, well, because I like it strong. I like my tea strong. But tea is a big deal. Tea helps your stomach, helps your digestion, helps your metabolism. It gets into the blood. It's tea is amazing. And we're going to list out in a little while why the tea is so amazing. So here's how much I just broke up. Let me see if you can see that. So that right there is Orange Bowl, Heisman 34. That's the amount I just broke up. And I'm going to put that directly right now into my little net pot. Here we go. This is probably a little more than I usually break up, but there we go. Boom, boom. It's already in there. So that's the first amount. First thing sitting in the net pot. You see it right there. That's our cannabis. Next, let's move on. So the next ingredient that I want inside, and by the way, because this is so orangey, I may not use lemon. I love using lemon in my tea, but tonight I might not use it. I have it ready to go, but I might not, only because it's so orangey and so stinky that it overwhelms and takes over the tea. Okay, let me make sure the net pot stays open. Let me just, what am I doing here? All right, there we go. Okay, so I got my cannabis in there. Next, this right here, I don't know if you can see that, that's hibiscus and elderberry already ground down very nicely. So let's go ahead and put that as well. So now I just poured in the hibiscus and elderberry on top of the Orange Bowl cannabis. Next is black tea. The black tea, very important for your stomach, for your mind, for your body, for your circulation. Black tea is, and this one is like an English black tea. It may be Earl Grey. I'm pretty sure this one might be an Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey. Good for your heart. That's a big deal. I don't think I have heart issues, but I probably should with all the shit that I deal with. So in that, black tea is great for your heart, great for your stomach. So we're putting black tea into the mix. So that's it. We got black tea, hibiscus, and elderberry. Over here, I have a really lovely mix, but I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to sprinkle some of it because it's got cloves, rose hip, elderberry. It's got hibiscus. There is so much beautiful stuff, black tea. So this is more of a blend, more of a mix. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a pinch with the elderberries, a pinch with some of the gorgeous stuff, and we're just putting it right in there. That's it. So I've got a pinch of the mix. We've got hibiscus, elderberry, black tea, cannabis. Now, I've also got turmeric and ginger over here. And this is my ashwagandha root. So that's ashwagandha root. And let me see. Let's put a little bit of ashwagandha in there as well. I don't like to do too much of the ashwagandha, just a pinchies to let that get in there and do its magic. Okay, so now we've got ashwagandha, a little pinch of the turmeric and ginger right here. Turmeric and ginger, great for the body, really opens things up. I don't like too much. It's an acquired taste. So there we go. We've got turmeric, we've got ginger, we've got ashwagandha, we have hibiscus, elderberry. Oh, we've got a lot of goodies in this thing. So here we go. Let's close it up. There it is. You see it? I've got a lot in here. This is enough for 2 teas easily. Easily. This is at least enough for 2 teas. So let me just close this up. My water has got to be hot and ready. There we go. I've just closed the unit. So what I do, got a big giant cup. I take this and I put it inside. And I'll show you what I'm doing. I learned this recently and I feel like I'm pretty cool now because I didn't know what this was for before, but I do now. If I can connect it, I don't think I can. Will it be that easy? Hold on. No, it won't be easy. It will not be easy because I am making it difficult. There we go. Okay. So there's like a little metal thing and you put that around the end of your cup. So you see how my steeped tea just kind of sits there and I can pull it out easily. But actually I do want it lower. I do want it down lower on the totem pole, so to speak. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have a lot in there. I tell you what, here, let's just do this. Let me take it off. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to leave it in there. Sorry. There we go. Put the ball in. Let's go ahead and get things going. Oh, let's pour this tea. There we go. So fill it up. Don't be shy. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. I like a lot of tea. I've been really looking forward to this. So I've been letting the tea sit for a little while. I put a lot of tea into the little bowl. But it's not a little ball, it's a big bowl. So I put a lot of loose tea blend into the big bowl. And actually it's warming up in here very quickly. I was cold. That's actually why I put on the jacket today. But no, it's warming up nicely. So let's take off the jacket. There we go. Lovely. All right. So you're going to want to let your tea steep for like 6 minutes. 6 minutes. So steeping, see how I'm just kind of, I'm holding the ball like so, and I'm moving it up and down, up and down, up and down. So it gets used to all that tea. So we're just going to let it sit there for like 6 minutes. But while it's sitting there, while it's hot, we're going to put in the sweetener. So the sweetener, it looks like a joint. It looks like a joint. It's called a twisty. Look at that. It's called a twisty, and it's about 10, it's a little powdered sugar, and it's like 10 grams of THC. So, not 10 grams. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah. 10 milligrams. No. God, my brain is not working. 10 milligrams of THC happening in the twisty. So the twisty looks like a joint, and what is it meant for? You put it in your tea, because remember, all the goodies that I just put into this tea, the hibiscus and the elderberries, they're not going to sweeten it. And it's going to be a little bit, not sour, but it's going to be, I'm going to, it's, let me see, wait. Hi, I am going to have to stop the cannabis. No good, really. Depends who you're smoking. But let's go ahead and put this goodie in. So now I just put in the twisty. The twisty is going to be in there. It's going to start dissolving. It's going to start melting away. I like to add that because it adds THC to the tea. It adds, the flavor. It's going to add the sugar, a little bit of sweetness. But to be honest, I like it really sweet. I like it really, really sweet. Honey's a big deal. And you want to get something local. This right here is a local Florida honey. The local Florida honey, the reason I love it, it's local. That means the bees are going to plants and botanicals that are local to Florida. So if you have allergies, if you have allergies or if you have issues, honey will help to regulate your system. So I put it in the tea. Absolutely. So we're going to put a little bit of honey in. I don't know how much. Let's just put some in. It's a big tea. It's a big tea. So I'm just going to put a little bit of honey in. That was a little bit. And we're still steeping it. It's not ready yet. I'm still steeping this tea. And remember, in this tea, we've got beautiful things. We've got a gorgeous blend of hibiscus, elderberry. We've got rosehip, ashwagandha, black tea. We have ginger, turmeric. We have a gorgeous local honey. And we used one of the twisty sticks to sweeten the tea. And we're trying to get these available for you as well. So the sugar, this is watermelon sugar. All right. So you got watermelon sugar infused. You have twisties infused, sugar twisties infused. And so if it's not sweet enough, we're going to add a little bit of watermelon sugar as well. So is this exciting? Look at it. We're 18 minutes in. Making tea is like a ritual. Making tea for me is more than just pouring hot water over leaves. To me, that smells good. This blend I'm giving you, by the way, the blend that we're talking about today, this is like a guarded secret. This combination is one of the most delicious teas I've ever had in my life. Well, I do eat it. Nick, let me see, but it doesn't get you where you want to be. It depends where you want to be, and it depends what you need. Medicinally, I look at cannabis in different ways. Like the tea that I'm making right now, this doesn't necessarily get me high. It makes me feel light on my feet. And we need that. Like today, look, all right, I'm on a forced vacation right now. And what do I do? What do I do for fun? What do I do for fun? What do I enjoy? I'll tell you what I enjoy. All right, I dig. I love to dig. I'm actually digging an underground greenhouse. We'll talk about it. And I'm digging a waterfall next to the underground greenhouse. I love terraforming the land. So I'm still steeping my tea. I'm steeping it longer because I don't like it too hot. I like it to cool down a bit. But right now you can see that I've got this big, and I like it dark. I like it broody. You know, I like to keep it moving a little bit. I like my tea oxygenated. So really quickly, I see Nick over here. Not worth the burn in the lungs. You know, it's not always about smoking. If not everybody's lungs can handle smoking, and not everybody should be smoking cannabis. You just don't have to be. You know, when you smoke cannabis, you're missing out on a good portion of the cannabinoids. The powerful synergy that cannabis is doesn't do enough if you're smoking it. If you're smoking a giant hoochie noochies, you know, you're gonna have a big flame, a big ember, a big cherry, and that can burn as hot as 2,000 degrees. Cannabis starts to decarboxylate. It starts to change at 250 degrees. That's why we're doing the tea under 250. This, we're doing it like 250 below, like 200 and 210. That's the temperature we're doing this tea, between 200 and 210. But remember, cannabis starts to decarboxylate at 250. So we're doing this below 250 so we can get CBGA. CBGA in her acidic form. That's what we're trying to get. That's what we're trying to do. That's why I have the temperature so much lower. Let me see. We've got, I think maybe I have to start eating it. You know, I eat raw cannabis. I love eating raw cannabis. Look, this right here, this is a beautiful bud. And I break off, you know, I'll break it up a little bit. You eat it, and you're gonna chew it down. I'm spitting it out. Chew it until there's nothing left of it. It's great fiber, magnesium, manganese, omega-3s, omega-6s. It's genius. And if it's good flour, and that's good flour, it'll taste good. It'll taste very herby. And that's the orange bowl I'm eating right now. And that tastes really good. You can tell when eating raw weed if anything's been put into it. That's gold flour. Gold flour is organic. So I trust their flour. My beard was growing as I was eating it. It probably was. That's delicious. Okay, my tea is almost ready. Actually, let me just take a quick sip and see if it's sweet enough. Because if not, we're putting that infused watermelon sugar in there. Which, by the way, if everything works out, by Sunday or Monday, you'll be able to go to Oregonji.com and purchase tea blends for your cannabis tea. Or tea blends or herb blends to smoke with your cannabis. Or you hopefully can get this infused high cubed sugar, watermelon sugar or high cubed twisties. Hopefully those will be available on the site as well. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be cool. All right, let me try it. It seems hot. Well, let me just, it's already good. That is delicious, but it is missing something. It's missing some of the sugar. Earlier, I tried it with the sugar. I gotta tell you, I had to try it. I had to try it early. So let's we're just putting some of the sugar in there. I'm putting the equivalency of like 2 cubes of sugar. Maybe that was more than 2 cubes of sugar. I don't know. Wait, rewind the video when I took a bite of the bud. My beard grew. It probably is good for me. Look, whenever you eat raw cannabis, it's great for your stomach. Whenever you eat raw cannabis, it is great for your metabolism. And when you're eating it raw, it's one of the only times that you can get THCA and CBDA. Look, it's not always about smoking. Nick, I understand what you're feeling. Look, it reached its height in my life in the 40s. You know, I see what you mean. I understand. But for me, cannabis isn't just about smoking. To me, cannabis is so much more than just smoking it. I mean, yes, I enjoy smoking it. I enjoy it because for me, I used to smoke cigarettes. And I smoked cigarettes for most of my life. From like when I was like 14, 15, 13, between 13 and 14, I started smoking cigarettes. And I smoked like a pack a day. So that's a lot. Yeah, sugar left it kind of sticky. So that's a lot. So I quit smoking cigarettes, but I still enjoy that pull. That's why I've got a hoochie noochies, a doink a 2-gram doink a doink, which is a mix. That's gas chata and JGT. It's a combination of the two. Very excited. Both hybrids. But but I will definitely check it out in the video. I'll go back and look and see if my beard grew as I started eating cannabis. But I believe it. I believe it. All right, let me try this again really quickly. It is a dark blend. Wish you could see how dark. Okay. Oh, that's it. That is delicious. You know what it could use? Let me just do this. It was moving toward the bud. My beard was moving towards the bud. It probably was. I'm putting a little lemon in it. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. A little bit of lemon. That's it. And hopefully, so the stick has melted. The twisty stick has melted. And it's such a large cup of tea that I'm putting just a little more sugar in. Not a lot. Not a lot, because you don't want to go crazy with it. No. This is something new. The sugar is something brand new that I'm trying. And I have to say, I'm excited. I tried it earlier. It had me high as shit. I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high. No, actually, I was gonna keep digging, but then I got high and I couldn't leave. No, the sugar is great. I love this watermelon sugar. To me, this is a great way to spice up your tea. If you don't have cannabis, then the sugar is a great way to do it. If you don't have bud, and if you don't have flour to add, if you don't have any bud to add to your tea, like I did, if you don't have it, then the sugar, high cubed, hopefully will be available on the site, but infused. And the twisties, look, I broke that one, but the twisties looks like a little twisty joint, infused. So if you don't have bud, you have other options. And so hopefully that will be available on the site. We'll see if that's going to be a thing. Okay, let me try and see if my tea is just perfect. Oh, that is perfect. Oh, that is good. Okay, now we can start the show. 27 minutes in, now I'm starting the show. And I got to tell you, my excitement this evening is beyond excited. Not just because of the tea. I love making tea. I love the ritual and the smells. I love the process of making tea. Look, for me, it's not just pouring hot water over some shit. It's taking in the individual smells of each thing that I'm putting in. Me being mentally, observant of what I'm putting in, how much of it I'm putting in, and seeing how this is going to help my body. Look, I love having an active, direction when it comes to my health. And where I include cannabis is every part of my life. I eat it, I drink it, I would bathe in it, sleep in it. I don't know, I would. But I also make tea with it. I also eat it raw. It's not just about smoking. Look, I make butter. Oh, I use like a rosin typed, it's like a rosin RSO. But I use that to infuse into Amish butter. Wow. When I say wow, when I say delicious. And you can add it to everything. I love microdosing cannabis. I love putting a little bit here, not too much, but a little bit, microdose. And I do it every day. So I don't feel high, but my mood is lifted. My pain isn't so bad. Before starting the show, my feet were hurting so badly today. Like I was digging. I was out there digging. I did a lot of digging. If it was light outside, I would take you outside. I would show you what I dig. I dug. I had dig-dugging. So in the dig-dugging that I had dug outside, I worked my body so hard today. So my arms were hurting. I had like the T-Rex thing. I have tennis elbow in both arms. So when it hurts, I'm like, I can't move my arms any more than a T-Rex. Okay, whatever. No, but I do. I love to dig. For me, when I dig, it's I don't know how to describe it, but there's an immediate satisfaction, and you're able to use your muscles that you don't normally use. You're concentrated, you're motivated to get something done, and you're digging hard, and you're digging hard, and then you stop for a moment, you put the shovel in the ground, and the wind comes and hits you, and you're sweating, but you feel good. You feel amazing because you're doing something. And you're out there with nature and you're looking at shit. It's beautiful. So that's how I felt today. And I kept digging, but I get myself tennis elbow. And so I have T-Rex disease over here. You know, maybe, Nick, that's a very deep thing you say there, because when you're like, you dig your grave, maybe that's why I find peace in digging. I don't know why. I maybe it's a morbid thing, but you're digging. Maybe it's you conquering death. By digging, you are deciding when it's time. I don't know. Maybe I don't. That was a stupid one. Oh my God, that's so good. That is such a good blend. I recommend putting a lot of sugar. But that's a really good blend, because some of the things I added in there, like the turmeric and the ginger, and the ashwagandha. So the ashwagandha, the turmeric, and the ginger, they're not the best tasting, herbs that you can add to tea. Really not the best tasting. But they're great for your body. And they do wonders for your circulation, your circulatory, your immune system, producing white blood cells in the body. Tea does so much. So, actually, I do make my own wine. Well, better yet, I make mead. Mead is honey wine. So it's wine made from honey. Nectar of the gods, absolute ambrosia. And when I make honey wine, I've used cannabis before. I've called it the cannabis cup. It was delicious. I made it with cherries. I made it with cannabis, RSOs, with raw flour through the double fermentation process. So a beer that is fermented twice is called a framboise. Framboise. But a wine or a mead that is fermented twice is called nothing but a mead. So you made it with grape juice? You can make wine with almost anything. This cannabis tea is everything right now. I am enjoying the shit out of this. We are making tea tonight, absolutely. Since you just got here, let me tell you what what you missed. I made a tea tonight using cannabis. I used the orange bowl, about 2 joints worth. I've got this big old tea thing here. We got black tea, ashwagandha, hibiscus, elderberry, rosehip. We've got lots of local honey, ginger, turmeric, but we're also using watermelon infused sugar. Watermelon sugar, soon available on the site. So if I didn't have cannabis to add to it, I have that. And then these things called twisties. They look like a joint, but it's an infused, sugared, like candy cane. But it breaks down so beautifully. So I've got that in there. I've got the watermelon sugar in there. I've got the honey in there. I've got a really beautiful mix. And I told you I love making tea because of the smells. One sec. Oh, the cloves, if you can look in there, the cloves, the allspice, there's little pieces of like dried, like, that's actually really good. Okay. Okay. No, you're going to love this watermelon sugar. It's going to drive you crazy. It's infused. Each cube worth of sugar is like 5 milligrams. It's microdosing, but with the tea, it does this thing. Your body feels super light. I love it. So let me see. If you let it age, it turns to vinegar. Wine will turn to vinegar, but when it comes to mead, Nick, I got to tell you, when it comes to mead, oh, you let it sit and age over a year, it's honey. Honey doesn't go bad. Honey is preserving your wine. Just delicious. I have mead back there that has been sitting for almost 2 years, maybe 3 years now. You got to go in, you got to rotate it, you got to check it, you got to look at it. Beautiful. You got me all excited about mead right now. Oh, that has got to be one of the best teas that I have had. Again, watermelon sugar. And I broke it, but it's a twisty, sugared twisties, available from High Cubed, High C, High Cubed. They're a brand. I hear they're amazing. And hopefully we'll have that available come Sunday at Oregonji.com. I love that. I love that. If you need something available, I'm here for you. We're going to do it. We're going to have tea blends, purchasable, the same tea that I'm making tonight. Blue Lotus, Daminia, really beautiful blends that are slightly psychedelic, depending on which one you pick. But tonight is all about health. The ginger, the turmeric, the hibiscus, and it's Jamaican hibiscus. Wow, don't even get me started on Jamaican hibiscus. That's usually the hibiscus you're going to find in a lot of the teas. Sorel, I think it's called. Sorel? I don't know what I'm looking around for. Sorel, I think that's it. Okay. Yes, infused with cannabis. My mead is infused with cannabis. The watermelon sugar is infused with cannabis. And the twisty is infused with cannabis. So I have all of that going on in the tea. This is insane. So yeah, tonight we're making tea. I think to me, it's more exciting because it's about health. And look, Nick was even saying earlier in the show, he's not feeling cannabis right now because of his lungs. But it really depends on what you smoke. And when you smoke really harsh flower from different places that's not cured or dried right, or that's not organic, it can be very harsh on your body. You have the same flour? Excellent. See, and that's what's delicious. So I don't have a made tea blend. So I just kind of put things together myself. And normally one tea bag is like the equivalency of like one tablespoon. 1 full tablespoon is 1 tea bag. But what I put here, I have enough for like at least like 3 teas. 3 teas. I've loaded enough in here for like 3 teas. 3. I like it strong. I like a strong amount of cannabis. I like a strong amount of flavor. I love hibiscus. I love elderberry. I love the cloves. You know, I love the allspice. The way that activates the tea. Oh, look at it. I can feel it now already. Let me just take a little bit more. Maybe light up my Hisnucci in a second. Oh, wow. I cannot get over this tea. I was cold. I got into the room. I was wearing a jacket. I was freezing. You know, I was freezing and I had a jacket on. I started drinking hot tea. I'm taking off the jacket. It's getting nice and warm in this room. So that's what's happening. We're on the podcast. We are drinking tea together on Highly Motivated on our smoke sesh of smoke seshes. Nick over here is talking about wine and meads. Got me all excited. Young wine is delicious though, especially before it gets all those tannins. And it depends on how you're aging it. Really, 1 week to 10 days tops is pretty exciting. So tonight we're making tea. And what gets me excited is we're not just talking tea. We're not just talking health. Because we really haven't even gotten into why this herbal blended infusion is so important and why it does so much for the body. So maybe let's chit chat a bit, you know, just a little bit about what some of these different things in the tea actually do. For example, let's talk. Here, I've just got to find where I'm at. Let me see. Fresh fruits, goodies like that. All right, here we go. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I have it in the wrong place because I was looking at what you can smoke. So the reason I love to use my base tea, like a good black tea, so that's going to be easy on my stomach. And the black tea actually starts to, it settles my stomach so that all these other things that it's dealing with, like the elderberry and the rose hip and the hibiscus, don't shock it too much. And they're able to assimilate nicely. I think that's what the black tea does. And it really kind of opens up the bloodstream. And of course, I can't find my notes. Why would I? Why would I be able to find notes right now? That would just make too much sense. Okay, so here it is. Like the hibiscus, that's flavor, that's coloring. But it's also relaxing the blood pressure, lowering blood pressure, so it's good for your heart. Black tea is good for your heart. Hibiscus, good for your heart. Right there, two of the things that I have inside the tea that are heart healthy. So not only does this tea taste good, not only is this tea lightening the weight of my body, because I feel lighter. I already feel perky. I don't know if that's the greatest word for it. I mean, I feel perky. I feel happy. I feel like I'm moving and shaking right now. I'm sweating. It's cold. It is like terribly cold in this room, but I'm sweating. That's the tea. The tea is maybe pushing toxins out of the body. The tea is getting the circulatory system working and activated. I can't get enough of the tea. So also tonight, and we're going to talk more about, like, lemongrass is great. It's citrusy, it's flavorful, and it calms the nerves of the body. A lot of what tea does, it helps calm the body enough so all the functions can start working in homeostasis. So let's talk about kind of what I really wanted to talk about tonight: future prep. And what is future prep? It's prepping for the future without being a prepper. So what do I mean by that? Can I rebrew my tea ball? Yes, I can. Well, when you make a lot like this, and I have it sitting in this cup, I have a big cup of it. So, I mean, look how gigantic and look how big this thing is. So with the goodies that I have inside, I have my tea sitting right here, and I can reinvigorate it. So that's kind of rebrewing. I leave it in there, so I can reinvigorate it. I can rebrew it. I could probably do another whole cup's worth with the amount of tea I still have in here. But I do it while still leaving some of the tea inside, so it's blending with the mixture that I already have in the cup, if I'm adding anything to it. But rebrewing it later, usually one good brew is going to take out pretty much all those nutrients and all that essence. But the longer you let that steep, the more gorgeousness that's getting in that tea. So tonight we're talking tea, but tea it's a prepper's thing. When I say that, you drink tea to keep your body healthy. You drink tea to keep your mind healthy. You drink tea in the morning instead of coffee so that you're not poisoning your body and poisoning your system, because that's what coffee's doing. Tea is, instead of going to the doctor, you're taking care of the things by drinking tea, by calming the body, by reducing the amount of stress hormones that are produced within the body, by reducing the caffeine. And we stop poisoning our blood. We stop poisoning our bodies. We start drinking tea. It's one of the first steps in becoming healthier and putting your mind on your health. That's a prepper. Look, what I'm going to talk about tonight is preparing for the future, but preparing for the future just by being smart. Look, a couple of years back, we're going to say like 15 years ago. No, maybe less. No, 15 years ago, we'll say. I got a wild hair up my ass, and I felt like society was kind of going in a downward spiral. I noticed more violence, more problems. The schools were deteriorating. Our government was deteriorating. Our values as a country was starting to deteriorate. And that made me nervous. That made me worried. It made me worried because I have a lot of kids, and it does suck to get a wild hair in your ass. But I realized what that did, though. it kicked me in my butt, and it made me realize that something's going on and I need to be prepared for the future. I wanted my kids to learn how to make a fire, not just be on the video games. I wanted my kids to be able to pick mushrooms, or edibles in the forest if we needed things to keep us alive. I wanted them to learn how to fish and tell which stars are in the sky. These are the things that I wanted. But living in the neighborhood that we were living in, living the way we lived, this was never going to happen. So I decided my dream was to have my own land, which I have it now. My dream was to have my own land, was to grow my own food, to have my own chickens and eggs and ducks, and I have it. That's what we have. Because that was the dream. That's what I wanted. But in my head, as I saw the degradation of society around me, I wanted to be ready if shit hits the fan. I guess maybe that's the right way to say it. It's not necessarily one thing going bad. It's not necessarily just the government going to shit, or just our school systems, or the rise in violence or predatory crimes, or human trafficking. I mean, we are living in crazy times. So when this all happened, I took all my kids out of school. I bought an RV and we hit the road. We left Texas. That's where we used to live. I sold my house, sold all my cars, bought an RV, and we ended up being on the road for like 6 to 7 years. It was like 7 almost. I did not know where I wanted to live. I didn't know where I wanted to go. That is so good. Oh, and towards the end, it is so strong, so flavorful. So we left Texas looking for land that would suit us. That what I wanted was an underground bunker. What I wanted was one of those old Apollo silos where we could grow underground, live underground, and nobody would even see us on top of the ground. But I don't have, $25 million or whatever it takes to buy one of these things or renovate it. So that being said, that was not going to be an option. So we traveled the country for a couple of years until we came here to Florida. Angie was pregnant, so we stopped traveling. I used whatever money we had left and bought this land that I'm on now. I got lucky. Excuse me. Ooh. I got lucky with it. Bought the land, and we grow our own food. We have our own ducks and chickens. We have our own chicken eggs. I don't have all the things that I want put together, but we're still working on it. And it takes a long time. But it takes a long time to be prepared. I bought this land before COVID. If I had bought this after COVID, I would never be able to afford it. I was very lucky to have the foresight that shit was coming. I was very lucky to have the foresight for my family that I felt like something was happening and it was coming to a boiling point. So I took chances with our funds. I took chances with our future. If you don't take chances, nothing's ever going to happen. And we had to do something. So I wanted my kids and my family to grow up differently. I wanted them to have control, understanding, knowledge. I wanted them to have kindness already in them. The school system, I knew, wouldn't be able to give that to us. The school system was just going to destroy the kids. So that's why I took them out. So when I say, let's talk about being a prepper, I'm not a prepper. I'm not prepared for an apocalyptic situation. But I am better set now with better knowledge and better understanding than if I was never prepared. So it's not about being a prepper, but it's about being ready. It's about being smart. It's about taking precautions, because life is unpredictable, and you don't want to leave things to life, do you? You don't want to just leave it to life and say, all right, everything's going to be fine. You know something? Not always is it fine. Not always is everything going to be okay. So you have to be ready. And if you have dreams, follow them. Don't wait forever. Don't wait until you're old and you can't do shit. Because if you wait until you're old and you can't do shit, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be able to do the digging that I do, or the land transformation that I do. I'll have to take pictures and put it on the website. But I have dug a very large underground greenhouse in the last 2 days. It's not done, but I've dug a good portion of it, and I loved it. I enjoy digging. And then I also dug about 25 feet of the extended water rerouting waterfall area, which will be watering some of my botanical garden areas going down the Machu Picchu steps. I love to have fun with it. I think we should have more fun with life and the things that surround us. Enjoy yourself and do things. Get into things. Don't always do it yourself. That's why I love digging. I do it myself and I enjoy it. Okay, enough chitty chat out of me. Let me light up his noochies. Okay. It's been a while since I've had a 2 gram doink-a-doink. So excited. And you'll notice tonight I'm smoking from a clear vegetable wrap paper. So, let me see. I see Nick over here. He's fishing and catching alligators out of his backyard. But let me tell you, alligator meat, delicious. Delicious. It's like a gamey chicken. Tonight we're smoking a blended joint. Now, tonight's blend is actually 2 different strains. So tonight's blend is 2 different strains. I have they're both from Gold Flower. Gold Flower is organic, hand-trimmed, living soil flower. Probably my favorite out there right now. And because I ate it. You eat it. If you can eat it, you can smoke it. I was able to eat a big bud a second ago. It was delicious. Nick said my beard grew as I ate it, and I'm going to go back and look at the video and see what's going on. But right now we're smoking a doink-a-doink together. I'm drinking some tea, and the tea is delicious. Oh, wow. As that has steeped and I get towards the bottom, which I guess all the sweetness is at the bottom, all the concentration of everything's at the bottom. But wow, what a beautiful tea. This has been great. Normally the turmeric and ginger throws me off a little bit, but in this combination, delicious. I wish I was at that event. This last C-Lab, I was trying to go. I was trying to clear up my calendar, and I was trying to get there. But you were there the other day, and that's fantastic. And you were showing off Gold Flower. Gold Flower is probably my favorite, and I say my favorite because it's organic. I can't eat everybody's bud. Everybody's cannabis, I can't eat it. It's not the same. I will eat, like say, if I eat, I'm not going to name them off, but I did a top 10 joints of Florida for the medical program, and I can only eat really the top 2, the number 1 and number 2. Number 1 was Gold Flower. Number 2 was Jungle Boys. Those were the only cannabis buds I can eat, and really the most flavorful one was Gold Flower. So I'm smoking a vegetable roll. Look at that, delicious. 2 gram. Doink-a-doink. That's great. This is Gas Chata, which is a hybrid leaning indica-esque, and JGT. I don't know what the abbreviation is right now, but JGT. And that's a great blend. It's 2 hybrids. One more indica, one more just hybridy. And you see the guy from the Grow in particular, you got to show us the Grow. I rotate between Gold Flower and Jungle Boys often. And and that's really my 2 top picks. Most of the time I'd say it's more 75-25. When I get the opportunity, I'll stop by Jungle, but most times if I'm going to Jungle, Gold Flower's in Ocala for me. So Gold Flower's in Ocala already. So I'm going there. That's where I'm going. But the rare occasion, if Jungle Boys has something amazing, I'll go. But Gold Flower's it. They're the ones. Just delicious. And this is Great. The tea is a gold flower tea, and we're doing a gold flower smoke. Mm, it's nice. I couldn't wait. The tea did me good. The tea was nice. I was enjoying that, but I also couldn't wait to do my smoky smoke. I've been holding off. It's so hot in here. It wasn't this hot. I'm like dying. There's gotta be. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hot. Oh well. Now, so now I can add things onto the sauna. It's a sauna. It's a greenhouse. It's a mini greenhouse, now a mini sauna, mostly storage, and podcast room. Mm. Wow. So drinking the tea and smoking the joint, I have to say, I'm going to be feeling no pain. No pain whatsoever. And I'm still drinking the tea. Tonight, see, it's not always about smoking. The tea is where we started. And honestly, the tea is where I could have stayed. Just a delicious blend. Mm. And again, the ginger and the turmeric, good for your bloodstream, good for your circulation, good for your heart. Same with the black tea blend, good for your heart. On their own, they taste okay. I mean, it's an acquired flavor. But that's why I use the watermelon sugar. Again, hopefully available on the site soon. Watermelon sugar infused, flipping delicious. And the twisties were just excellent. I put both inside this tea, but it was a big tea. So I had to put a lot in there. Okay, so the topic du jour. Being a prepper without being a prepper. Being prepared without it revolving your entire life. You know, without that's all you think about, that's all you do. No, just getting prepared on the side is a smart thing. Like starting a garden. I think starting your own garden is probably number one. You cannot rely on the food sources that you currently get. You cannot rely on the government to give you organic vegetables. You cannot rely on areas like food deserts in Florida. Northern Florida is filled with food deserts. What is a food desert? It's a place that doesn't get fresh vegetables, doesn't get variety, doesn't have, like eggplant or squash. And you think, how can they not have eggplant or squash or bloody asparagus? Heathens. Well, there are places that just don't get fresh meats, fresh vegetables, and they're only getting highly, highly processed foods, ultra processed foods, like ramen. I know you love ramen. Ramen's delicious, but ramen, if you're not having it done fresh, it is an ultra processed chemical food. That's it. It's pretty much like you're consuming straight plastic. I'm sorry, if you like it. Now, if you go to a ramen house, that's different. They make their noodles fresh. But you get ramen out of a package, and that is an ultra, ultra processed food. So starting a garden is number one. So that leads me into my recent project. I've been given approval for an underground greenhouse. Now, to me, this is a big deal because you can grow year round. No matter what the temperature is outside, your underground greenhouse will control temperature. It retains excellent moisture. And you think, how big is this underground greenhouse? I don't know. It's going to be like, it's like 6 foot by 20. I mean, it's pretty big underground. It's only partially underground. I've cut away from the hill on the far side of the house here. I've cut away from it, and I'm creating the whole back wall will be a greenhouse, and it's going to be like a slanted front glass So not a full greenhouse, and only half underground. I'll take pictures, don't worry. But it's about fresh vegetables. It's about being prepared in all weather climates. It's about being prepared even in the worst of weathers. So the reason I like a half underground greenhouse, because I'm also going to help its lighting situations using solar panels on the outside. They'll be collecting the sun's beautiful energy. They're going to charge batteries, and the batteries are going to go to growing lights underground. So these growing lights are going to help sustain some of the plants that are not getting as much light in some areas. I love the thought of an underground greenhouse. Why? Because it's not just a greenhouse. It's underground. It's like extra fucking cool. If you're going to do something and you're going to have fun doing it, do something extra fucking cool. That's what I'm doing. I'm building an underground greenhouse. Why? Because it's an adventure. Why? Because I think it's cool. I could build an above ground greenhouse, but shit, everybody can build an above ground greenhouse. But not everybody will build an underground one. Look it up on Pinterest. It looks pretty cool. When I was living in Texas, we had this pool in the backyard that was nasty. It was disgusting. And either we were going to fix it and save it, which we did, or we were going to turn it into a greenhouse where it's a pool, but now it's a greenhouse. I thought that was going to be the greatest thing for, if you're not going to use a pool, you can use it as a greenhouse. But instead, I didn't, and we fixed the pool, but then you fix one thing about a pool, and then 20 other things are going to go wrong. Fuck the pool. I'm sorry. Pools are too much work. You got to buy all this shit. You got to clean it all the time. Go somewhere and swim, and then come home and be like, I don't have to clean shit. That's my idea. I don't have a pool. I have no pool. We have a lake. A lake with an alligator that's got one eye. Like, what do we got going on over here? I got the Blue Dream Tern. Ooh. And the let me see, the Grandstand Purple. And then a Dragon Fruit Acai. Whoa. That's the one. That Dragon Fruit Acai? Wow. That sounds delicious. Have I tried them all? No. The Cucumber Melon. That's the one I got to try. It's not even out yet. And it was stupid delicious. When I say stupid, I was like, this is all I want to smoke. But the Tern is probably one of my favorite distillate brands. But it's tasty. It's really delicious. I mean, you just can't stop smoking it. Maybe that's not great. But yes, there you go. Fuck the pool. The pool's a pain in the ass. Look, you're going to resurface it. You're going to clean it. You're going to add chemicals all the time. And who needs these chemicals? And then how often are you swimming in the pool? Half the time I was just laying around the pool. Maybe I'd put my feet in the pool. I'm doing all this shit to put my feet in the pool? Fuck the pool. Go somewhere and enjoy the beach. Enjoy somebody else's pool. Pee in their pool. Don't pee in their pool. Don't pee in their pool. I was always told when I was a kid, my dad would tell me, English, very prim and proper. Son, we're going over to my friend's house and he's got a lovely pool and we're going to be swimming in this pool and you're going to bloody love it. It was Alan Applebaum. Great guy. He goes, but son, don't pee in the bloody pool. I'm like, Dad, I'm not going to pee in the pool. Son, I'm bloody looking at you. I'm letting you know that I know that you know that we know that I know that you know. Don't pee in the bloody pool. That's it. And so it was like, why? I'm not going to pee. He goes, son, let me tell you something. If you pee in the bloody pool, Alan has put something in there. So if you pee, then it's going to turn red everywhere around you. So if even a little bit of pee-pee comes out, it's going to go red. So if you've got to pee, son, you get out of Alan's pool, you go to the bathroom, you pee, and then you come back. So I always had this thing that if I was going to pee in his pool, it's just going to turn red. And one time I kind of wanted to pee in the pool just to see if it turned red. Mm. Let me see. Granddaddy Perp, delicious. I haven't tried that one yet though. The cucumber one, delicious. Cucumber melon, I'm telling you, just dreamy. There was a unicorn party that I tried. Loved that one. Loved unicorn party. They are amazing though. Let me see. Did I see the little turn pod system they have? And I think only Nevada right now. I heard about, I haven't seen it yet though. I heard about the little turn pod system. Very exciting. This is a good Who's Noochies. A good doink-a-doink. Tonight, what a great night. Friday night, Friday smoke sesh. Thank you everybody for joining on the LinkedIn, on the Twitch, on the YouTube, and the Facebook. Welcome to Highly Motivated. And thank you for joining tonight. What a great night. We made tea together. We made a delicious, gorgeous tea. And if you're just jumping in, go back to the beginning of the show. Check out the beautiful tea. Check out the beautiful combination. Soon, tea, blends, and infused sugar available on the site. Very excited about that. Wow. And towards the bottom of this, it's so strong, so good. So we made tea infused with cannabis. We are smoking a 2-gram doink-a-doink. That's gas chata, all from gold flower. Gas chata and JGT, whatever that's abbreviated for, but that's what it is. Both hybrids. I don't know which one was up front. I just can't tell. I think it's the JGT because the gas chata is like, it's like a cheesy gas. It's like blue cheese in the background with gas and stink, a good stink. Oh, a fantastic stink, eh? Yeah, one of the best, I tell you. Yeah. If it's going to stink, it's going to stink good. But this right now, look, no expectations for the show. This right now, this to me is like the best. This to me is my favorite thing because this is what the show is. It's us chit-chatting, no matter where we might be. Coming together as community, as friends, great energy, great frequency. I look forward to these smoke sessions. Sometimes smoking outside of a good sesh is not the same. I feel like I get higher. I feel like I get, just, I don't even know how to describe it. I smile inside because authentically, this is what I like. Authentically, this is what I love. This is what the show really is. It's not for me to stress coming up to the show. It's just to be excited, to share the energy with everybody. And, it's exciting. For me, the show is exciting. Making tea, showing you how to make tea, showing you how to enjoy cannabis in such a way that we've never tried before. A lot of doctors talk to people about making tea, but they don't make tea right. Keep it simple. Look, let's not get fucking confusing. You can decarboxylate your cannabis first. You can activate it. You can take the buds, you could put them on a baking tray, put it in the oven at a very low heat for like 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, I've got it somewhere. And you could decarboxylate your bud. And then you could break it up and put it in your tea, but it changes the flavor. And for me, that's not what I'm looking for. For me, I'm looking for the THCA. I'm looking for the CBDA. I'm looking for the CBGA. Wow. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. I want that. So I put it in raw. I put it in undecarboxylated because it's going to go through a decarboxylation process. A partial decarbox in the tea, and then it's kind of getting into the body, doing a full magical, hey, how you doing? Look, I'm turning 50 next month. December, I'm 50. Holy shit. my grandmother's going to be 100. Isn't that some crazy shit right there? So my nan, on the 5th of December, turns 100 years old. Wow. I wish I could be in England and see her. She's in England. She's an amazing lady. When I say amazing, she knits for the old people. She has more energy, more enthusiasm than anybody I've really ever met, next to my mom. And one of the stories, my dad he was having one of his big birthday parties when we were living in Texas. And one of the last times that I saw my nan, she was doing a keg stand. I mean, they were holding her, but it was so funny. And this English woman that's so prim and proper, so reserved. You get a couple drinks in these prim and proper people, and they're not so prim and proper. So, you're December baby too? Hey, happy birthday. So am I. So I'm December 13th. So on the 13th of December, which this December is going to be crazy. And really, I only have one wish. But December 13th is going to be Friday the 13th. I was born on a Friday the 13th. And this December is so powerful for me because my nan turns 100 years old. And then just a few days later, I turn 50. So she's hitting 100, I'm hitting 50. It is monumental in so many different ways. Why do I mention all of this? Cannabis. I think, you're a December baby as well. What's your date? What date in December? Oh, that's good. I feel high. I feel like high in different ways right now. I feel high from the joint. Like when you get halfway through a nice big joint or a doink-a-doink, you should feel a good entourage. You should feel something kind of washing over you. And I do. From this, I feel something different from the tea. My legs were killing me. My arms were hurting. Like I had tennis elbows so bad today. I couldn't even move my arms like this. Look, I'm moving my arms like a broke chicken, but I'm still moving them right now. I'm moving them. Just, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now, but I'm moving them. It doesn't hurt. It hurt a little bit. You want me to be authentic? It hurt a little bit there, but this one's perfectly fine. But yeah, that's where the tea is also helping. It's making my body feel super light. On the 15th, wow, this is a powerful month coming up. I'm on the 13th, you're on the 15th, my nan is on the 5th. I am like, I can't believe it. That's a lot. That's amazing. That's pretty flipping cool. But I have to say, the way the tea is making me feel, my stomach was a little bit uneasy. I don't know. I feel like giggly from here all the way into my stomach. Not like butterflies, but I feel good. And it's like, it knows it feels good. It's like it knows there's healing going on. So it feels better all the way up through here. And that's tea. And you don't know until you try it. You don't know until you have cannabis tea. And right now, some might be watching going, I can't believe you're sitting there making tea with your flower. That's how you do it. Add it with other beautiful things. Honey is a great thing for the body. Turmeric and ginger, beautiful for the body. I infused mine with a twisty and infused sugar. And wow, in so many different ways. It was so delicious. There's still a little bit left at the bottom, and it's heart healthy because I was doing black tea as well. So this is like multiple different angles of health and wellness and healing to the body. It's really good. A little tart, a little sweet. So many different flavors. So many different things coming together. So yeah, I love tea. And I think cannabis in its holisticness has kept me young, has, I mean, I don't feel like I'm breathing as well as I should be. I can't run, I'm not cardiovascularly fit. Like, I'm not calisthenically fit. Mm. I mean, I can do some yoga. I can do some meditation and some shit. I can lift some weights or something. But you ask me to run to the mailbox and back? No, forget about it. Kiss my ass. That's ridiculous. There's no reason to run. Why am I going to have to run? Running is just not right. But wait. I'm a coach for soccer, for kids soccer. And I have to do a lot of running. I do a shitload of running. And I'm really bad at it. I'll play with the kids and I'll be running and I'll stop and be like, okay, it's like, coach, I'm next. I'm like, you're next. Hold on. Just breathe. Coach, I'm fine. I'm breathing. Yeah. Breathe, I said breathe. And so I feel tenseness and tightness but that's natural because I'm not in shape. I'm not in shape and I need to be in shape. I'm healthier than not, but I'm not in shape. Not in shape in the sense that I need to be more cardiovascularly fit. Like I need to be able to run from, with the kids on the field and not get winded. I don't think this affects me so much. So there were a few studies showing that there is no long-term damage from cannabis to your lungs or to your body, even when smoking it. But short-term, it doesn't make me the best runner. Short-term, it doesn't give me the greatest running abilities. But my lungs are perfectly fine. My lungs are fine. Unless I'm stressing out. If I'm having a panic attack, then my breathing is not good. And I have to calm myself. And then the breathing gets better. That's when I realize it's mental, not physical. But anyways, running, I'm not the best at. And so I need to work on that. What am I fucking talking about? How shitty my health is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. Whatever. I don't know why the hell I'm talking about my shitty health. Let's move on. And my not so shitty health, I'm working on it. So I'm healthy, but not totally. I don't want to give myself a heart attack or something. So sometimes I have to remind myself to take it easy. Like today, all the digging I did, I started early in the morning. And like really early. I don't want to tell you how early. I got out there. That's all I wanted to do. Woke up this morning. I was like, I want to dig. I get something in my head. I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I grabbed the shovel and I stood there and I watched the sun just come up and kind of overtake. And I marked my areas. And I was like, yeah, this is beautiful. The wind's coming in. It was cold. It was really cold. So I was like, I'm going to start digging. I'm going to start working hard. And I did. I started digging. I started working hard. And I warmed up my body. And I wasn't cold. Instead, I took off the jacket. And I really got into it. And before I realized, I had done a massive part of the project. Like, huge areas. I know I like to dig, but I didn't know I was that good at it. I'm good. I'm like one of the best diggers ever. I can dig all over the place. Strange story. My cousin Gadi in Israel, he's a grave digger. That's what he does. I couldn't. I mean, that's a tough job. That's a tough job. It's even worse than being tough. And it takes a toll on him. When I say it takes a toll, he has to be prepared and be ready all the time. And in overseas, there's a lot of Russian weddings and they bring a lot of vodka to the weddings. So, and they leave a lot of vodka. And he makes sure that he picks up all those bottles because, you don't want to litter the area, and he drinks them all. Sorry, Gandhi, I love you. You shouldn't be drinking that shitty stuff. Miss you very much. And I think of you, as you see, all the time. He has a will that is so strong. He has a mind that is so strong. It takes somebody that's strong mentally and strong in the heart to be able to do a job like that, because you're confronting some of the hardest things every single day. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about that either. Boy, this tea and this joint has got me in la. But anyways, that's what the show's all about, though. It's getting high with you. It's talking with you. It's forgetting about conversations. And it's perfectly okay. So tonight we were talking about getting prepped and ready. Make a garden. Look, let's keep it simple. I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to give you a couple of important things to know and important things to be ready. But be smart. Start a garden. Storms are getting worse. Hurricanes are getting worse. Tornadoes are getting worse. We are entering into larger magnetic storms, which do influence the weather. We are entering into a time of much strong, I think it's there's 100 years, the weather's not so bad. And then there's 100 years that the weather is fucking terrible. We are entering into the 100 years where the weather is fucking terrible. It's the truth. Be prepared when the fucking truth is in front of you. So a storm shelter would probably be, wow, that is working something in my body. A storm shelter would be a smart choice. Just to be prepared, just to be ready. Keep in mind, when you're not using the storm shelter, you can use it to store food, store mead, store wine. Hey, Nick, if you're making wine, you put it in a storm shelter. It's going to stay cool. Naturally. Beautiful shit. You can store food, vegetables, root vegetables, cellared vegetables. So if it's not a storm, use it for other shit. So a storm shelter, save. Paper money is shit. Digital money is shit. Because when the banks go down, they're going to control your money. When the banks go down, digital money is not going to work. And it's happened before, hasn't it? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm going off of fact. I'm turning 50. I'm an old man. I'm not old. But I've been around and I've seen some shit. So, having seen some shit, having lived through some crazy shit, I'm getting a little prepared. So storm shelters are good. A garden, fantastic. Digital money, paper money doesn't mean shit. Gold and silver. That's it. Save it. Have it. Just have it. Buy a couple of coins. Go to the pawn shop. Get a couple of cheap gold necklaces. I'm telling you. Just have it. It's good to have tradable currency. If you don't have land and you can't do certain things, have a bug out bag. Have an escape route. If there's a bad storm or a bad situation or there's a fucking tsunami coming, I don't know what it could be. Have a bag packed with some essential shit, ready to go. That's it. These things right here bring you peace of mind. A garden, a storm shelter, saving gold or silver, having an escape plan, having a bug out bag, just having that shit there. Okay, now it's off the mind. I'm not worried because if something goes down, grab the bag, here's our plan, time to go. Or now that I have land, if something goes down and it's not going to affect the land, okay, let's stay and secure. Let's take account for what we have and what we're going to need. I don't feel like a prepper. I feel like a person who is ready for a hurricane comes. I don't go rushing to the store. I'm not going through the shelves of the stores looking for canned goods and water and all the essentials that everybody needs and power and all that stuff. I don't need it. I have it. I'm prepared. I'm ready. And it brings me peace of mind. It brings me an ease that, I don't know how to describe. Was I able to get all these things overnight? No. Some of these things took years. Like the power, the generator, that took me to actually have money for that. It took me like a year. And just to save up and be prepared for when I need to buy one, I was like, that's what I need. I have the money. But it was saved and put away and forgotten about, except for when I needed it. This is horrible. So I used to think that the vegetable paper didn't make me cough, but it does. The lower it gets, I think maybe it's more of it feels like I'm smoking. But it allows me to taste the cannabis. Anyways, we're talking. Okay, so we need to be better community for each other to be prepared for shit hits the fan type situations. I'm not going to say it's not going to be zombies. It's going to be a post-apocalyptic event. What kind of an event? So I talked about it on the show where Baba Vanga and Edward Casey both made the same prediction. Not knowing about each other, make the same prediction. That's insane. Europe, 2025, next year, is going to undergo sorry, I just heard something. So, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Y'all know my land is haunted, right? Y'all know where I live is like, see, I hear the dogs barking right now, so I know there's some shit going on. It was like a deep, guttural, just, oh, hey, oh. It's like, what? Whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about now. That's crazy. I said we need to be better community for each other. We need to help each other. Whatever that was made me lose my track of thought. Scared the shit out of me. Just being honest. Here on the land, once it gets dark, you become more aware of the sounds. You become more aware of, like, owls. Owls make some crazy sounds, and they'll scare the shit out of you. They'll look right at you. They're gonna be like, and you feel like they're right there. They'll. I've seen some wild stuff, and 75% of it, I will say it's animals. 75% of it, I will say is like, there was a deer. I don't know what this thing was huge. Like when I was in Texas, and I was staying at this park for a period of time in Lake Hills, Texas, Lake Hills. And they had a bunch of deer, like just hundreds of deer everywhere. But they were small. Not like small. I mean, they were small. They were deer. But they just weren't, I thought they were good sized. I see this fucking deer out here with like an 18, 20, 36 point antlers. Just huge antlers. Antlers so big. And it was big. It was like just enormous. But in the dark, you see some shit like that, you think you're seeing a giant chupacabra or a skinwalker or something. And one of the times I'm walking through and I'm shining with the lights and looking for things, I shine the lights over and I didn't see deer, I saw eyes. And then this thing walks towards me. It was a deer. It was this gigantic, just huge, and scared the shit out of me. I went running. Okay, I've gone running before though. There was an armadillo. So while we were traveling on the road in the 45-foot fifth wheel, had the whole family. We were parked at a camp, really neat camp. We were actually, I think this is the place where we were mining, not mining, but we were in the riverbeds looking for fossils. And wow, the beautiful things we found. So anyways, it was nighttime. It was starting to get dark. And actually, no, it was already dark. And I heard something. I come out of the RV. I'm looking. And I see these two little eyes just looking at me. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look at it. And it takes steps towards me. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, okay. I start moving away. And it's coming after. But not like running. Just kind of like a good brisk walk. I look behind, I'm like, what is this thing? I can't get a good look. It looked like a dinosaur, like a little mini dinosaur. So I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm going around the RV and I keep going because I don't want to bring it inside the RV so I keep going. I go back around and it's coming around after me. So I think I did like 2 rounds before I'm like, okay. And I'm looking back, I'm trying to get a good look at it. So I was going to go back, but then I ended up running like a scared baby back around the RV while this armadillo, gigantic armadillo, not a regular sized armadillo, probably one of the biggest armadillos I've ever seen in my life. But armadillos have a lot of different diseases and parasites, and you don't want to really pick up an armadillo and cuddle it, nor do you want the armadillo to bite you, because rabies and then shots and then shit like that. That's why I was running. That's why I was running. I was running because of the possibility of shots and rabies and parasites and shit. That's why. That's why. That's it. That's really it. I mean, look, safety. Safety is an important thing. So, but I was running. I was scared shitless. And why was I talking about that? Anyways, that was part of the traveling, part of getting ready. That's why I had left, and we to look and become more strong on the land, more sure of yourself. Learning as you travel is a big deal. So being prepared, bring preppied, but not prepper, but preppied. We need to be a better community to each other. We need to help each other, teach each other how to ferment pickles, how to preserve foods, teach each other how to make candles for fun, for shits and giggles, how to do things that are off the grid, but should be the norm. Not like making your bread on a stone aisle. I mean, I don't know, just normal fucking cooking appliances. But getting together like community, teaching each other just how to grow, how to produce food, just in case. I think we don't have anybody that teaches us, that comes out there and really sets up gardens. To me, community gardens are a big deal. I want, as Oregonji, we want to support areas that are looking to expand their knowledge in food production, beginning with food gardens, beginning with an area where we can get donated goods and donated supplies to build out individual plots where neighbors that live in the area and that can garden together, work together. On a community garden, on a community effort of energy. Even better. It's getting even better. What a delicious tea. That was a hit. Wow. And healthy. Great for the body. Great for the blood. Turmeric? Woo. That's like a wonder drug right there. Same with ginger. Ginger, fresh ginger. Ho, ho, ho. A vasodilator. Opens up the blood vessels, you know. It does wonders. Wonders, I tell you. Here on Highly Motivated, I talk about it. I talk about bringing kindness to the table. It may be, look, the other day, I had a meeting at a Dunkin' Donuts. And I came in, I'm dealing with this guy at the front, and I'm thanking him. I'm like, thank you. By the way, thank you. You're doing a great job. And hey, you've been so friendly. This is awesome. You made me really feel good here. And the guy's looking at me. He's like, thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I go off into my meeting at the other end of the Dunkin'. And as the guy's leaving, he checks out. He's at the end of his shift, I imagine. And as he's leaving, he opens the door and he looks back. He's like, hey, thank you. I'm like, for what? He goes, making the end of my day the best part of it. And making it, making me smile and just making it fun. I'm like, oh, well, you're welcome. I will come by, get a coffee, and make some shit fun. And he was like, yeah, all right. I'm like, all right. And he left really happy because I was kind. That's it. How many shitty customers has he dealt with? One person is kind to him, and now he's just like, things are okay. Things are better. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Look, you don't have to be nice to be kind. Being kind is putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, putting yourself in somebody else's situation. Being kind is showing love and emotion and understanding. I'm not always the nicest person in the world. Shock. I know. It's a big shock. Big shock. But I try to be the kindest, the most understanding. Do I always show understanding? No. I'm learning, just like you are. Every single day we learn. Every single day we get better. We get wiser. We get kinder. So as a prepper, and as proper, or a prepping individual, not a prepper necessarily, but a prepped individual, as part of a prepped, better community, because here on Highly Motivated, all us Oregonjis, all you Oregonjis are prepared with knowledge, with understanding, already with kindness and with heart and with love. And that's amazing. That's better than anything right there. So I think we need to be better community. We need to be better for each other, for, learning new skills, new trades. Angie has been learning how to do clay. Like she's like spinning clay and shit. How cool is that? She's trying to make a teapot. I love it. Love it. I think that is the coolest thing. Like a Japanese type of very dark clay teapot. Oh, that's groovy. With a big, beautiful cup. I'm so excited. Tea is about ceremony. Tea is more than just pouring it, and it's creating it. It's making it. It's perfecting it. It's blending it. Oh, and then it's feeling it in your body. Any one of the tea blends that I put together, you can do it without cannabis, but they're blended to be perfect with cannabis, to enhance it, to flavor-wise, to enhance it medicinally, because you're getting it at its root vegetable, or at its root level. You're getting cannabis at its root vegetable. That's what you're getting. Root vegetable level, I'm telling you. but you're getting it at its base level, at the THCAs, the CBDA, the CBGA, the mother of all cannabinoids, the precursor. Oh, I told you we are going to get exciting tonight. I don't know why the bad French accent keeps coming out. It's like maybe it's like it feels like it's being held back or something. Well, I'm really excited about all the birthdays in December. And again, happy birthday, Michael Chapman, Stoners for Swag. You can find him on Facebook, on the Facey Bookie. If you see Stoners for Swag out there on the Facebook or the Insta Cha-Cha, wish it happy birthday. Wish him happy birthday. But the entity would be the it. So the Stoners for Swag. But wish the individual, Michael Chapman, a happy birthday. From all of us here on Highly Motivated. Wow. It's been a little bit since I had a 2-gram doink-a-doink at one time. I know the second half has been gas chata. The first half was JGT, the first gram of it, and the second gram of it was gas chata. I can tell how cheesy and blue cheese, like in the background, a gasoline blue cheese, or like a diesel, like a diesel-y blue cheese. It stinks so good. And that to me is one of the greatest things of cannabis, is not just smoking a good blend that works good for the body. It's also those aromatic sensors that signal, that fire. If you can get Gold Flower for delivery. I don't know where if you're here in Florida and you have a medical card, I guarantee it's something you'll more than enjoy. If they don't have enough flour, they are worth the wait. Worth it. Not many places are, but Gold Flower is, especially when making tea. Look, you got to use something organic. It's going to have and something hand trimmed, something living soil. That's what Gold Flower brings you. And all those trichomes are on it. I love it. It's great for the tea. That's where things begin. You know, it's got to be the music. Since I put the music on here. Oh no, I do hear dogs. Okay, so it might be something else. Whenever you have this much land and you start hearing people on the land, you know they're not supposed to be there. And more times than not, there's nobody out there. Instead, it's a pack of angry squirrels that have gathered together, throwing nuts at the back door. No, it's not. I mean, there are a lot of squirrels, but the cat keeps the squirrels at bay. She guards the perimeter, and she just keeps getting bigger. Like early in the morning, I think her early morning breakfast is like 15 lizards. A good 15 lizards, and that gets her going. And then we feed her an enormous lunch of both ocean pate and a hard cat food, to keep the system moving. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And then she eats like rats, tons of rats. So she's enormous, and she is a he, because it's got a really large pair of Batesime, which I did not see initially, and we thought it was a she. So I'm so used to calling it a she a she, he a he. So now it's just he or she or they. Really, it's they. I'm not being silly. It's just they. We're just gonna, because it's confusing now. And same for the cat. I think the cat's gone through a lot. Um, just whatever. I don't think, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here going on about the cat, but thank you. Thank you for joining me for tea. Thank you for enjoying the high cubed infused sugars. And thank you for joining me for high tea on Oregonji. So much fun. This is it. This is the smoke sesh. I love it. Thank you for joining me on a Friday night. The tea will be available on Oregonji.com, hopefully by Sunday. Also, a lot of the teas that we're using here can be blended with your actual bud. Look, a lot of these tea blends, well, I guess this is hibiscus. You can't really see very well, but these can be blended and smoked, like catnip or damania or blue lotus. These dried herbs can be mixed in small amounts into your cannabis. So not large amounts. Never do it in large amounts. Everything's done in moderation. But in order for smell, for taste, for health, like mullein leaf is amazing. Not just in tea. Mullein leaf in tea is great. But to smoke it, it starts to loosen up congestion in the chest. When you smoke it, it immediately starts and works as an expectorant. So it'll make you cough. But I wouldn't add that in everything. That's more for tea. That way it doesn't make you cough. It will later because it still loosens up that congestion in the chest. But there are so many different things that you can add to tea or add to your smokable flower to make it just delicious. The mania gives it a sweet flavor, almost like a smokable creme brulee. But yes, so delicious. But you would never know this because this is like a lost art. It's a lost art when it comes to talking about how what you smoke in your tea. It's a lost art. I think we have lost. Nobody talks about it. Like putting passion flower, dried passion flower into your cannabis. That's going to reduce anxiety, and it brings different flavors. Catnip, it promotes relaxation, mild euphoria in humans, not just cats. But if you smoke a little bit of catnip, it brings euphoria. Not on its own. I think it's too harsh. It's got to be mixed with cannabis. Skullcap relaxes the nervous system and it helps with stress and anxiety. Hops, same thing like in beer. But hops, look, it's got beautiful terpenes, very similar to that of cannabis. And it's got like a sedative, like a sedative mood enhancing properties. So, I mean, delicious. Look, let's look at this one. For aroma, you put rose petals, orange peel, and zest, sage, thyme, vanilla bean scrapings. All of these are smokable and create magical blends with your bud. But it's a lost art. It's a lost art because it's not taught anymore like this. Instead, blending in Europe is done with tobacco. They take tobacco and mix tobacco with the cannabis. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you mix nicotine into your cannabis? Stop it. Just stop it. Instead, blending should have been like it used to be back in the day, where they'd put like licorice root or marshmallow leaf or eucalyptus, mullein, coltsfoot. All of those I just listed, by the way, are great for respiratory support. So using that with your cannabis, making your cannabis a bonding agent, making it a 1-part, 2-part, 3-part system. And then all right, so people have also contacted me and said, look, If you're going to blend things in your cannabis, can you blend anything to make it more of a mystical, more of a better dream experience? Because here's the thing, when you're a heavy cannabis user, a lot of heavy cannabis users don't dream. To the last drop. That is just like so yummy. But cannabis users don't really dream. I mean, if you're a heavy smoker, East Coast Visual, welcome. So if you are a heavy cannabis smoker, you don't dream. But if you add Blue Lotus into your bud, or a little bit of mugwort, or some white sage, maybe a little Kalea Zakatachichi. That's one of my favorites right there. Actually, it's very mystical. It's a Mexican herb that actually gives you more of a euphoria. And then when you dream, it gives you vivid, incredible dreams. Or maybe some cinnamon bark. And only because the cinnamon bark, it's spicy, it's warm, it's delicious. In a smoke, it's like cloves. If you've ever smoked cloves, cloves are warming and very inviting. And the aroma of it is just like, what are you smoking? What is that? So cinnamon bark kind of does much of the same thing. The Kalea Zakatachichi, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but I do love the name, the Zakatachichi. It's the dream herb. Remember, enhances vivid dreaming, gives you a euphoria before you dream. The mugwort is also great for dreaming. So if you're doing a mugwort and a Kalea and a Blue Lotus combination, you might have some of the most beautiful dreams ever. The Blue Lotus is probably one of my standout favorites, but it's Egyptian organic Blue Lotus. And that in combination with other things, it brings lucid dreaming. It's great for meditation. If I'm looking to get into a meditative state, drinking a tea of Blue Lotus and smoking a joint with some Blue Lotus added into it. Wow. Like, I don't dream. That's when I dream. I don't dream. That's when I dream. And it makes up for it. I do mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I love them, but I love microdosing mushrooms. Like every 3 to 4 days, taking a little itsy bitsy amount, like the equivalency of like 20 grams, or not 20 grams, 20 milligrams. Like the equivalency of 20 grams. Are you crazy, Warren? No, 20 milligrams. So every 4 or 5 days, I take 20 milligrams of chocolate, and that's 2 pieces, and I feel okay. It resets me. But if I can't do mushrooms, now, if I'm looking to really get deep and mystical, like I was talking about, I like to smoke the additives more, because I like more of the dreaming. It's more of a different thing. With the mushroom, it's a different thing. I don't do acid, or I don't trip with acid anymore. I haven't done an acid trip since high school, and I never really enjoyed it in high school. But when I do Blue Lotus and a Kalea Zakatachichi and a little bit of mugwort in my joint, it's the trip I wish I would have had then. It's euphoric. It's body. It's mind. It's a lot of things. It's something different for each person, but it's not overwhelming. It's something you can handle. It's easily assimilated because it's smoked. So a lot of it is just, it's burned up in like high heat. But when you mix it with the cannabis, I think it creates a different ride, a smoother ride, a better ride. That's just how I see it. That's how I look at it. The white sage you can put into it, but I think that's more for the smell. White sage is more the aromatics of it. Aromatics are beautiful, though. I love aromatics. For me, smoking a joint is half aromatic. It's the smell. And that smell becomes taste. And that taste becomes terp, becomes flavonoid, potato, tomato. But that's That's smoking. Smoking, because you're burning up a lot of the cannabinoids. So you need those cannabinoids almost through the smell and taste, because you're going to get them quickly when you're smoking. You want to get that, you taste it, you're like, well, it tastes good, and it shapes it quickly, and it activates it quickly within the body. But if you're going to eat it raw, like I did earlier, that's going to help your stomach. If you're drinking the tea, that's not just going to help. It's going to help your stomach. It's going to help your bloodstream, your liver, your kidneys. If you haven't lost those, or somebody has borrowed them, or if you've given them to somebody, that's okay. You can give them to somebody. Not all of them. You have to keep a few things, I think. Okay. But I wanted to talk about prepping tonight, but instead I'm still talking about tea. I love tea. There's so much more to talk about tea, but I don't want to bore you with it. I feel we drink tea tonight, and I almost want to do this every Friday night. I feel so good right now. I feel authentically just great. And that's tea. Look, I could smoke a joint, and I'm always going to feel good. But the tea has kept me lucid and has kept me vibing and just feeling happy, and it's taken my pain, and it's made it much more tolerable. And with some of the things that I've added into this tea, it's balancing my body. I'm not as sativa'd as I normally am. I'm more controlled with the tea. Even though I smoked a lovely hybrid. Sometimes you need to laugh. Sometimes you need to just be happy. I think that works beautifully. So we were talking about tea, and there's some great things you can add. And we will have a lot of those things that you can add available on the website, Oreganji.com, by Sunday, I'm hoping. I love, look, smokable. What I was saying earlier, what you can add to your weed, holy basil. You can add rosemary. Rosemary sharpens focus and adds a woody, aromatic quality. The holy basil balances energy and supports mental clarity. And the flavor is delicious. Peppermint and spearmint leaf, you can add that. Yerba mate. It provides mild stimulant effects and has an earthy flavor. All of these things enhance the cannabis. Doing it together, and those synergistic effects together are like a little mini nuclear bomb. Maybe atomic explosion. I don't know. Maybe not so big, but big. Big and not so big like that. I mean, maybe that's too big. Maybe I'm just giving too much of it. So let me talk about what I want to talk about. I'm just going to go over it really quickly because I'm getting to my 2-hour mark, where I say I have a 2-hour mark, but the last show I was like, I'm getting to my 2-hour mark, so it's about time to, and then I ended up talking for another hour. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. I've got an early day tomorrow, and very excited about kids soccer. I'm coaching a soccer team, and I love it. I love it. It's the excitement. It's not about winning. I mean, everybody fucking says it, or everybody always says it's not about winning. Well, it isn't. It's the team play together. When I see them passing to each other, that's everything. I don't care if they don't win any games. I don't care. They're passing to each other. That's amazing. They are playing, and they're smaller kids, and when they're playing hard against bigger kids, and they're not letting those big kids intimidate them. Instead, they're getting right in their faces, and they're smiling, and they're loving it, and they're stealing the ball. They're like, yes! They're like, chase me! I love that. I see them working together, talking together when they didn't even know each other at the beginning. And now they're all best friends. I love that. That's soccer. That's any team sport. That's how it should be. It's how it should be. But a lot of the coaches are dicks. and they yell at these kids. I mean, I yell, but I don't yell anything mean. I yell encouragement. I yell compliments. I yell joy. I'm just loud anyways. I'm loud, but I've heard some of the other people and how they are, and it's rough. That's how kids hear things. They're very impressionable. You know, they need strength. They need power, and they need to know that power can be kind. You don't have to be nice, just kind. But you have to be understanding, and that's how I teach. I teach kindness. I teach joy. I teach playing from the heart, playing for the team, and then your team will win. They'll win, and they are winning because they're just playing. They're not playing to win. They're playing, and they love it. They don't even know they're winning. The last game that they were winning, they had no clue. They were ahead like by 3 at one point. At one point, they were ahead by 3. They were losing in the beginning by 2. Down by 2-0. And then somehow they were 3 ahead. But they didn't even know. It was like halftime or after halftime. And they come back and they're like on water break. And they're like, so how are we doing? I'm like, you're winning. They're like, oh. And all the kids all of a sudden got excited. Like, we're winning? Wait, we're winning? They're looking, we're winning? I'm like, yeah, you're winning. It's to see joy, true joy like that, authentic joy. That's what I look for. So my daughter's on the team and she's the Tinkerbell. She dances and prances around when she should be playing. And she talks to all the boys and she's all enthralled. It's a challenge. So I coach so I can keep an eye on everybody and keep them all in line. But no, my joy has come from watching the development, watching the change. That's everything. Watching the union of people coming together in such friendships that are now forever. And that's something not a lot of kids get. Or they do, but they get them in the wrong environments. They get them in the wrong settings. They don't have the right encouragement. But who am I to judge? I'm not. Everybody does it differently. But we need more kindness for the kids. We need to understand they're kids. They can't do shit like we think they can. And they're learning. And they're sensitive. My daughter got her feelings hurt at the end of our practice the other day, and she went running off into the dark. And she's a 6-year-old. You know, she went running off into the dark, and because it was dark in our practice, so I got the flashlight and I'm chasing her. I'm like, wait, stop! What's going on? Talk to Daddy. Come here, talk to Daddy. And she was just because she was so embarrassed. And kids are sensitive. We need to know that about them and bring kindness when we speak to them. Talk to them like an adult. Talk to them because they understand. Treat them with that respect. But bring incredible amounts of kindness when you do, because they're still learning and adjusting and becoming. I don't know where I got into that. I was talking quickly. I want to say the steps of prepping. And then I started getting emotional and shit. I do want to mention that it's Thanksgiving coming up, and I do want to send out love to everybody, love and greetings and warm blessings for Thanksgiving, but not Thanksgiving thanking, the taking over of nations or of cultures and the destroying of cultures. No, Thanksgiving, thanks for community, thanks for good frequency, good people, good vibes, good neighborhoods, good neighbors, good everything. Just thank you. It's a day of thanks. And just that's how we look at it. I don't put history behind it. I put the now behind it. It's a day of thank you. And let's have a day of thank you meal. So normally we have family around, but this year it's going to be very close knit, very small. So happy Thanksgiving for all. however you may celebrate it. This is the first year we're not doing a big meal. I mean, we're going to do a Nick. Nick's over here. A good neighbor is a tall fence and a lot of property. Well, you know, all my neighbors are great neighbors because I can't see them. That's great neighbors. If you knew my neighbors, great people, great people, great people, great people. Okay, so I was talking about Thanksgiving. Just, you know, be happy, be thankful for being alive, being chosen to be here on this beautiful earth. Today, I was checking out at the Dollar General, and I heard these ladies talking in front of me, and the one lady's like, I know I'm getting into heaven. I know I'm getting there. I've been a pretty good person. And I'm listening, and I ask, I go, so do you think about it every day? Heaven? She goes, every day. Every single day I think about heaven. I think about when I die, I am going there. So I'm like, every single day. She goes, yes, absolutely. And the lady in front of her was like, yeah, me too. Me too. Every single day, I thank God that I'm going to be going to heaven. And I think about heaven every single day. I got nothing against religion, people. All right? Nothing. But we're on heaven. Because, all right, first thing, she goes, I hope God accepts me. I hope God accepts me in heaven. I'm like, God would never judge you. God would never judge anybody. That's religion writing that. That's man that wrote that, not God. God would never judge anyone. There's no heaven and hell. God wouldn't keep you out of the energetic realm, the Akashic library of life, of the universe. God would never keep you out of anything. He would never judge you of anything. I mean, you judge you of things. You know what's right and wrong. But I told those ladies, I go, heaven is here on earth. And they looked at me and they're like, what do you mean? Like, heaven is right now. Look, hell is what you put yourself through. Heaven is now. God would never judge you and keep you out of heaven or keep you out of a place that's even beyond here, an energetic realm of togetherness and community. God would never do that. He would never keep you from it. That's not what God does. He's a creator, not a judge, jury, and executioner. Is he? Is he? Huh. I think that's man's writing. I think that's man's interpretation of religion. Anyways, so I told them this is heaven, and the heaven is now. Heaven. What was a weird? Oh, that's gotta be a huge plane. That's really low. But I said heaven is now. Heaven is what we experience right now. It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It's this. It's right now. That's heaven. What you make of it, what you create of it, what you've manifested, what you've brought on with good frequency and good energy and good you, what you have made now is heaven. Nothing more, nothing less. This is it. And we're experiencing it right now. Now, some of us experience hell because we create that, we manifest that. But if you manifest good frequency and good energy, then you are living in the heaven that you think of. You are living in that perfect realm now, right now. Not like now, tomorrow, now, yesterday. No, now. Even now, in the conversation that we have, now is the heaven that you perceive. Because it's everything and anything. That's what heaven is. When you die, they say you have everything and anything. Well, right now, you have everything and anything. That's the truth. This is heaven. So, I don't know. What was I going to say? I was going to talk about being prepped. Prepped. So what was my talking points? It was learn how to make a fire. Gardening and farming. Important. Basic construction skills. Learn because I suck at it. I am so terrible at construction skills. All my shit I build is wonky. It's like sideways and some shit, and I'll look at it and be like, I cannot believe I did that so badly. But then I will learn from my bad mistakes and I will fix it. I'm just saying, it doesn't always start off the way it ends out. A lot of mistakes have to go into my learning curve. Cooking from scratch. Learn how to cook from scratch. I think cooking from scratch it's a huge thing to pass down. Learn how to make bread, learn how to make a starter dough or a starter yeast. Amazing. Sourdough doesn't raise the blood sugar. Sourdough, if you have high blood pressure or if you're diabetic, bread's not a good thing because of the sugars and the way it breaks down in the body. But sourdough won't spike your blood sugar. Sourdough is very healthy for your body and your heart. And you get that from a beautiful starter. Books, lots of books. Keep lots of books on hand. Books about learning shit, making shit, building shit. You know, books about herbs and mushrooms and foraging. You know, books about a little bit of everything. But it's good to have these just to pass knowledge down. Fermented bread. Yes, I've seen it. It's with the yeast, and you're fermenting the yeast. So cooking's big. Wilderness survival and foraging for mushrooms and learning to find these. It's like a weed. You look at it every single day, and it looks like a weed, but it's actually one of the most medicinal, healthy leaves you can ever find anywhere, and I can't remember the name of it right now. It'll pop to me in a moment. When you develop self-reliance, you are prepared for anything. That's why I said, look, start a garden, have a storm shelter, save gold and silver, have an escape plan, have a bug out bag. You feel better. It's not everything. It's not going to solve it all, but you feel better. You get the worry off your chest, because when it does happen, you just sit there and you're like, well, I'm not saying I told you so. I'm just saying got a really good bug out shelter. Got lots of good root vegetables in there. The potatoes in there love it. My mead or my wine is fermenting and aging beautifully in my storm cellar. Have energy alternatives: solar, wind, a turbine in a stream, running water, I can't think of the name. It went bye, but it'll come back. You know, energy alternatives. Solar panels are big. Wind. You know, our reliance on one should not be. We should be doing both. So sometimes the sun isn't always out, but the wind is going. Make sure you can get a little turbine up high, charging the batteries. It's all about the batteries and how many batteries you have. Food preservation. I was saying a second ago, in a storm shelter, you'll have the potatoes or carrots or things like that. They just love it. So food storage, food preservation, canning, fermenting, not pickling, but fermenting. Fermenting is a big deal. Nick, I'm telling you, sourdough is going to change your life. I love bread. I love bread. I love it. I can't eat it. It bloats me and it spikes my blood sugar and it just messes with me. It does. I don't know why, but bread, it messes with me. Sourdough doesn't. Sourdough doesn't spike the blood sugar. It's good for my heart. It burns through my system better. I don't get bloated. That's a big one. Now, I don't eat like an entire loaf, like with butter. Like I'll take the butter, and I'll take some sausage, I'll take some cheese, and I'll put that, and I'll bite. Not anymore. It's been a long time since I've done that. No, fermenting is a gift from the gods. If you've ever had fermented pickles, delicious. Fermented vegetables or fermented bread, the flavor that you get. It's like you're taking things to a whole new level. Holy shit. Okay. I said earlier, we need to be better community. We need to be better community. It's sharing knowledge, sharing things. Look, I'll teach you how to make mead. We'll have a show where we're gonna. Oh, what am I sitting on? We'll have a show. Ow, I'm just gotta readjust a few things. I feel like I'm on like I'm riding a. I don't know. Forget it. We should have a show about making mead. That way I can pass down some knowledge to you about making a beautiful honey wine. And it saves forever. And again, it's one of those great prep things. Making a honey wine with rhubarb. I'm so excited right now. A rhubarb honey wine. I'm about to like plots. I'm so excited. So good. So good. It's using fruits that you just wouldn't think about, or vegetables like rhubarb. But rhubarb is just stupid delicious. And in a honey wine, it's like next level. Next level. A rhubarb pie. If you ever get a good rhubarb pie, listen. Whoever made it for you, you kidnap them and you hold them under lock and key. You keep making them make them make rhubarb. No, I'm joking. This is really dark. That was so dark about rhubarb pie. Don't do that. Just don't kidnap anybody. That's like terrible. That's terrible. I don't even know why I told you to do that over rhubarb pie. Ridiculous. Okay, moving on. So I think definitely community preparedness, learning how to make mead. And anise. Oh, now we're talking. See, powerful flavors. Powerful. Honey wine with bark from the Mavi. Wow, Nick. Listen, we're going to have fun on this show. I'm going to bark from the Mavi. That's beautiful. Hold on. Bark from the Mavi. Oh. Okay. So definitely teaching each other things, teaching each other how to cook or how to preserve or how to save things like eggs. Listen, buttered eggs. You can save, they'll save for 6 to 8 months. Irish buttered eggs. A fresh egg, when you have chickens, they lay the egg. Make sure it's a clean egg. Don't clean it. Do not clean it. But make sure it's clean. Like, make sure they're not laying their eggs in their poop. That means you got to clean out their pens really good. When their pens are always clean, they're always going to be laying them on fresh hay, not poop. So you collect these eggs and you rub them with butter. Beautiful Irish butter or a good thick, just fucking crazy good butter. Rub the shit out of the eggs and you put them in a cool place, cool, dark place. And you can save eggs until the winter or over the winter because the chickens don't lay eggs during the winter. So you're buttering the eggs so you can eat them during the winter. But what happens is the butter permeates the shell and it gets into the egg. So the white actually becomes yellow. So the white of the egg becomes yellow and it is the most delicious, buttery, flipping egg in the world. Wow. It's like a secret. It's like I make the best eggs in the world. They're like buttery and creamy and delicious because that's why we butter the eggs. But now we're trying a different way. We're glassing the eggs. We're doing a glassing technique that in a big 5-gallon bucket, right now it's full of eggs. It's crazy, but we're glassing them so that it strengthens the shell. They're sitting in a glassed thing of water. Haven't tried them yet. We'll see flavor-wise how they compare. I think the Irish eggs compare. They're so good. The creamy, the buttery, the fantastic, I tell you. So yeah, being prepared. And mentally, you're ready. By being prepared with all these different things that we've spoken about really quickly, you're mentally ready. You're mentally ready for shit hitting the fan. Whatever happens, you'll be looking going, oh, yeah, that looks terrible. I mean, I don't have to rush anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I've got fuel. I've got a generator. Got food storage. I've got an underground greenhouse. That's what I'm building now. I'm still so excited about it. I love to dig. So this gives me an opportunity to dig by hand, create all of it by hand. I'm going to pack in some clay. I'm going to create some walls, some terraced areas. I love, transforming the land into my vision of the botanical gardens that I want to see here. natural and added. I love using natural flora and fauna, natural botanicals here, just enhancing them, like the American beautyberry. What an incredible plant. I don't know if you've seen these things. They don't grow things low. They're stalky, and up on the top of the stalks, they have a nice leaf structure, but on top of the stalks they have these bunches, these little tiny itsy bitsy bunches of purple berries, or purple little. It looks like they all look like berries. So a lot of people think you don't eat them. You eat them. They are a natural dewormer. They taste like hydrogen peroxide almost, rain and peroxide if you eat a lot of them, but don't eat a lot. But you can actually use them to make a mead, a honey wine. And it's the best honey wine in the world, because they develop a flavor that is so incredibly sweet and so incredibly over the American beautyberry. The Native Americans use this plant to make dyes for their clothing, but also as a natural dewormer. I'm telling you, there's things that we learn and we teach each other these things, and now you know it. Now you're going to be like, holy shit, American beautyberry. Never knew. Such an amazing thing. Don't be fear-based. Be prepared in things. Be ready. Be open. I think investing in tools and learning how to use them is essential. Create a resource library. Plan an escape route, like a 72-hour emergency kit. Test yourself. Go on camping trips and learn how to make a fire. Learn how to make a fire. Learn how to live and look at the stars and know which one's the North Star. Look at our second moon. Look at the night sky and breathe in the cold air and know that you are ready and capable to take on the world. It's believing in yourself. It's believing in your community, in your friends, in your people. It's something I don't want us to lose. As society gets so crazy, all the time, crazier, we can't lose each other. We can't lose the community of people. That's what the smoke sesh is. Smoke sesh is us getting together. We can't do it all the time in person, but here we are getting together from different parts of Florida or different parts of the United States. Last week, parts of Poland. People in Poland were watching. I don't even know how they get a hold of us in Poland, but that's awesome. I'm glad they were watching in Poland. You're awesome. And yeah, that's every one of us. No matter who you are, we're all the same. And we all come together under the leaf. Whether you smoke or whether you don't, it doesn't matter. That's what the show is, highly motivated. Highly motivated as a community. We hold each other up on high. We pump each other up and get each other ready for the weekend. And that's what Friday is. Friday's a preparation. Friday's the beginning. It's a start. It's a plan of attack. It's it's high tea. High tea on Friday might have to be a thing because it's gone. I have no more tea left. I don't know. It's still warm. I guess I'm going to pour a little bit. It's still warm. It holds a good heat. So, oh yeah. It's still steaming. So I tell you what, look at that. It's still steaming. Yeah. Hey now. Don't dream it's over. Hey now. I don't know what the fuck I'm singing. Don't listen to me sing. It's torture, I know. It can be rough. So earlier somebody asked I know. I'm pretty sure I know who it is that asked. That can you, or maybe I don't know actually. See, again, and Restream, I'm streaming from Restream and I can't see shit. I can't see comments on Facebook. I apologize. I can't see who's actually watching sometimes. And then I do see comments from LinkedIn, but it will say a LinkedIn user. It won't say sometimes who. Now on Twitch, I think we've got Nick, or Nick's watching us on YouTube, but that's why it's letting me know that Nick is there. But I wish I had a better way to see it, and we're working on it. You know, we're definitely working on a better way to be able to talk to everybody. But somebody earlier asked me, can I re-steep it? Can I redo it? So that's what I'm trying. I'm just letting it sit. The water is still hot enough to see steam, so I'm just letting it sit in there for a few moments, and I'm gonna see if it kind of changes the color. It still smells good, smells delicious. Anyways, so I think as a community we need to get together. And here are some resources, by the way. Bushcraft 101 by Dave Canterbury, or Canterbury. So Bushcraft 101, Dave Canterbury. That's more wilderness survival. The Permaculture Handbook, Essential, and that's by Peter Bain. Again, that's the Permaculture Handbook by Peter Bain for sustainable living. There are websites like ready.gov and offthegridnews.com or abovetopsecret.org. Above Top Secret's more of a conspiracy site, but still, you know, you got to wade through the bullshit to see the 30% of fact. There are some great courses you could take to learn about solar energy, gardening. I even tried a hugel culture, where basically I dug a long ditch, and I dropped a tree into this long ditch, and then I put hay on top of it, and then dirt, and then hay, then dirt, then hay, then dirt, and I built this tall, like, I don't know what to call it, mound of living soil. And after I watered it and nurtured it for like 2 months, it was ready, I believe, for gardening. And it was just too powerful of a soil. I don't know, it wasn't ready, but it was beautiful stuff. So now I'm actually using it as part of one of my botanical garden sections. So now it's turned into part of the botanical garden, and it's working amazingly. But anyways, I've even tried hugel culture. Hugel. Wow. I think the tea has got me more giddy than anything. I'm looking to see if I can get here. Let me just go closer. I'm looking to see if I can get more tea. I'm going to put a little more sugar in there because just in case it's good, I'm going to try it. You don't want it to be like sugarless or something. And oh, that was a lot of sugar. That was a lot of high cubed infused sugar. I'm just gonna here we go. We're gonna dilute that just a little bit more because honestly that could be like really strong. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining me tonight here on Highly Motivated, the Friday Smoke Sesh, or high tea with the Oregonji, but high tea on Highly Motivated with some really great things. Tonight, we were using infused sugar by High Cubed, as well as one of their twisties that look like a joint, but it's a twisty, and that's also infused, an infused twisty sugar for your tea. All of these things are for tea. I love that. I love that they're all there to enhance tea, to help the tea. Earlier, you asked me if I can re-steep the tea. Let me just give it a quick taste and we'll find out. Yeah, you could re-steep it. It's light, very light. Like, definitely not as you know, as No, much lighter. And that sugar really helped. So the sugar actually was delicious. That's the watermelon sugar. One of the biggest things, watermelon sugar? Okay. That's pretty good though. It's a lot lighter, but still really good. Anyways, thank you for joining me. We're going to have tea available soon. We should all be having tea together every Friday night. Here on Highly Motivated, having high tea with some high cubed sugar. I feel great. And that's what it's all about. Thank you for joining me. Have a fantastic night. Be amazing, because that's what you want to be. Be kind. Be powerful. Create and manifest everything that you want, because it is your universe. We are sharing universes together. It's yours. And we are cohabiting, co-creating the world around us. So bring kindness, bring great frequency, bring joy, bring everything. Be everything. Until we see each other again on Sunday, Highly Motivated for the Smoke Sesh. Come see us, 8 o'clock, same places, all the same places that we are right now. You will see me there as well. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the energy that you bring to this Smoke Sesh. It's amazing. It's been great. I look forward to it. I love it. I just smoked a 2-gram doink-a-doink tonight. Delicious. Drank incredible tea. Hanging out with my friends. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of the vibe. Being a part of Highly Motivated. Because it's already everything I've ever wanted it to be.